ShinRobjira.
Today we're going to be talking about the Bandai movie monster series Godzilla Store Tokyo exclusive Godzilla King of the Monsters, King Ghidorah. Heavy paint applications version. I got this ugly little spud off of the Godzilla store with the help of Zen Market, links in the description, and I'm going to tell all of you right now, don't bother. This thing is a waste of money, it's a waste of time, and if you're a completionist, this is something you can afford to not complete. It sucks. Alright, I don't fully feel that the figure sucks. I do feel, however, that Bandai absolutely the pooch on this one because this is considered an exclusive. This was $30+ to own. This... It's an upset. It's an absolute upset. It really, really is. But let's take a look at something that's not too upsetting. So here we have the tag encrusted in the same color tone as the figure, and... that's pretty much it. It says 2020 where the original says 2019. The back is as solid as the original is. And the inside is mostly the same if not for the silhouette being a darker mustardy color than usual. That's it. Now since this pile of lies and disappointment is technically a Godzilla Store exclusive, it will be receiving the double sleeve treatment. And now we may move on into why I consider this thing a pile of lies and it's really not going to take that much to show. Imagine calling this heavy paint application. Bandai. Heavy paint application to one area, maybe, but look at this! Look at this incredible amount of lays! This is terrible. Exclusive figure. Exclusive right to be better than this. This is a piss-poor excuse for a heavily painted figure. Look at that. That's not heavily painted. The only thing heavily applied here is my belief that Bandai actually thought this was okay. This is awful. This isn't even matching up with the rest of the figure. Do me a favor. Look at this. You see how the shading, the lines and everything, they're actually visible. You can actually see them under specific parts of the wings over here. Well, it's really not like that on the opposite side over here for whatever goddamn reason I don't fucking know. It's like the shading is there, clearly, but it's just a lot less noticeable. Like, you go from this over here to this, and it's just not there. The fact that this is even a thing over here, just why did you even paint that, Bandai? Why paint that at all? If you're going to do something like this, don't paint something like that. Why? Like, why at all? Bandai, did you really give that much less of a crap about churning out a good product this time? I mean, yeah, something like this was present on the original figure, but you're taking the time to paint that, but you're not going to paint the rest. You're taking the time to add shading to the wings over here, which does, yes, make them look really good. But then you look at the legs and you see that you completely skimped out on the thighs, but did the knees and just the knees. I'm drastically trying to find the words or even the thought process going through Bandai's head that thought in any way, shape, or form that this was acceptable. Because in reality, it's not. I gave the Godzilla 1954 retro blue figure a bit of a hard time when it came to lack thereof metallic blue, but look at this! Can't even shade an entire part over here? You have to leave it blank hibbity like that? Bruh. And to make it even better, I'm not even going to show it on camera where you guys can see it all clearly, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show about as much initiative as Bandai did when they made this figure. Exclusive figure. Blank as sin on the back. Blank as sin. But I mean, the detail's nice. I'll give him that. The detail is fantastic. Look at that. He shines in the light. Beautiful, beautiful detail. Fantastic. I love it. Detail gets a full star. But let's continue on talking about the paint, because there is something nice about this figure, believe it or not. The necks are all metallic gold. Very, very nice. And the mouths this time around are all metallic gold, just like the eyes, but definitely a different color gold. As much as I really do love that the necks are all metallic gold, I do wish they were more, you know what I mean? Like, I understand that this probably didn't light up in the movie, but like, it would have been nice to have more variation over here. I personally love the choice that Bandai went with when it comes to the inside of the mouths. Yes, it's going to look gaudy to a lot of people, I know that, but if you're okay with this, like I am, you can be okay with this, because this looks just fine. It doesn't look like it was gooped in there at all either. And it further adds to the narrative that this heavy paint application version is based on a shot from the movie where Ghidorah's charging up his gravity beams. It looks really, really cool. In fact, I love the way that this metallic gold looks. I wish there was more of it on the figure. Oh yeah, before I forget this gracious and important detail, the horns are painted the exact same color as the original, offering nothing new to this exclusive figure. Imagine if Bandai actually gave a fluck to actually throw more of the gold all over this figure. Even on the back, on the underside of the wings, I would have been perfectly fine with that because then it would have felt exclusive. Here, it just feels slightly exclusive. The funny thing is, though, this thing still has more paint than the SHMA Ghidorah. Now, I am personally one of those people of the belief that the 2019 standard Ghidorah was severely underpainted. We've got some highlights on the arms, some highlights on the neck. We've got golden eyes, white teeth that were painted pretty good, and that's pretty much it. Now, you may absolutely pick your poison as to which one of these you think is better, but even with my overall disappointed demeanor when it comes to heavy paint Ghidorah, I'm going to have to say that heavy paint Ghidorah just looks better. Bandai tried a little bit more than they did with the standard. The standard is just bland. It's boring. And at least with heavy paint applications Ghidorah, you can see that some life was actually put into it. Just not a lot. Not a lot of care either. So it's really a mixed bag. I still just really can't get over the lays of this. That's ridiculous. The fact that they couldn't be to put the wing on correctly, the fact that there really should have been more gold, there should have been more paint overall, because this is an exclusive figure. Look at that. Bandai, you know, you've done some pretty crazy things with heavy paint figures beforehand and afterhand. Well, actually, no, this came out before the Shin Godzilla. How does that Shin Godzilla exist looking as good as it does, but this looks like this? You know what? I love the gold in the mouth. I love the gold on the neck. The paint, for the first time ever on this channel, because I'm trying to make a point here, gets an X. This is an exclusive figure. This is a figure that was $30 because it was exclusively sold at the Godzilla store. And it has a smidge of some other paint. But in reality, you know, if we were talking about Bandai of the early 2000s, you know, the Bandai that actually gave a shit, we would probably see a hell of a lot more on this figure, and we'd probably see a hell of a lot more on the back as well. I mean, it's Ghidorah. It's King Ghidorah, the Golden Demise, the absolute nemesis of Godzilla, and you paint him up like this? Looks like a coffee stain on a white napkin in a 5-star restaurant, Bandai. Bad. But that's pretty much it. Detail-wise, this figure is a solid star. Because even though it's a brick and features absolutely no articulation, much like the original, it's still detailed very, very well and features a lot of things to marvel at. I especially still love King Ghidorah's back, all the swole, all the muscles, all of the horns and everything. It all looks really, really nice. Even though the tails do look like kind of greasy and not too accurate, or just good. Maybe they are accurate, just not good. Other parts of the figure do look a lot better with the additional shading on it. I personally think the gold in the mouths definitely bring out a different sense of evil, vile, all-powerful, 3-headed golden dragon. And even though some of these areas are extremely poorly painted, the paint that was included does add to the detail and does give you a sense of Ghidorah's power. But this, that's not even half a star. No, that's not half a star at all. That's an X. That's an X right there. That is piss poor. Rob, it's a Bandai figure. Calm down. It's an exclusive Bandai figure. All the other ones look better than this. Even Heavy Paint App's Kiryu looks better than this. In fact, let's take a look at all the heavy paint figures up until now. We've got the Kamada-kun and Shinigami-kun from the Morphological Chain set. Yes, I am aware that they were not labeled as heavily painted figures, but look at these things. They're definitely exclusive grade painted. Imagine this kind of love and care went into Ghidorah throughout the entirety of the figure, not just the front. Then we've got Kiryu over here, the other heavy painted boy, which, I mean, yeah, he's not painted on both sides, but it looks like they actually gave a crap. Here, there's just like doo-doo stains all over Ghidorah's body, and it really doesn't look that bad or that good or that anything. Just very blasé. Then you got Heavy Paint Shin Godzilla, which to the point where it's like you shouldn't even be comparing these two because it's so clear that Bandai, myself included, have somewhat of a favoritism for Shin Godzilla and went all out on this. But if you're going to attach the name exclusive to a figure, Every figure should be treated in that manner, with the same amount of love and care that Shin Godzilla got. Is that so hard to do? Apparently for Bandai it is, because this thing exists. Sheesh. There are certain aspects about the paint job that I really do like. The paint absolutely does bring out more of a character in this figure, but I do feel that the figure really did need more. I do love that this figure is still as imposing as the original with the gigantic wingspan, but it does cause the figure to fall down, and since this thing's got shiny metallic gold teeth, I have to keep him in a plastic bag so if he does fall, the bag will hopefully break the fall and not chip any of the paint off. It's a really weird situation where the figure does things that I like, but it mostly does things that I really don't like. It's like Bandai really put a half-hearted job into this. As I stated before, and I hope we all know by now, this figure features zero articulation. Nothing in the legs, nothing in the head, nothing in the wings, nothing in the tails. He is a vinyl brick. This time with a more pricier paint job. Look at this french fry looking mother flubber. It's perfect. We got the large fries, we got the meatloaf, and we got the Killer Kaiju Super Watermelon Drink Berry. It's a kaiju smorgasbord, except the fries are half. I'm gonna be honest, don't buy this figure. Don't even try. It's not worth it. Even when using a proxy site, you're still gonna end up paying $40, $50 for this just because of the shipping, well, depending on what kind of shipping you get. And even then, that's too much. I solely got this figure to clear everything up and to get the rest of the Godzilla store exclusive figures that I missed out on that are still in stock. I am actually suggesting to you to just wait for the original Ghidorah to go back into stock or to snag it now and don't even bother looking for this thing. Yes, the gold paint is nice, but it's not enough to warrant a full-on purchase of this thing. Please, I beg of you. You do not need to add this into your collection. You don't need to be a completionist this time around. You do not need to give Bandai your money. The only thing more upsetting than a half-assed SH Monster Arts release of King Ghidorah is a half-assed exclusive version of King Ghidorah from Bandai that doesn't feel like it was worth it in any sense of the word. And I will see you all next time, which I don't know what I'm going to be doing next time. I have plans to do something, but, you know, shipping and all that. That's fun. And, oh yeah, this thing's like a 1.5 stars. Don't do that. No, it's just a star, actually, because I gave it an X. That thing. Are we done now?